Level 2, picking hand position for the classical guitar. Now it's important that you review Level 1, and there you're going to learn how to hold the guitar classical style. And providing that you're doing that, you should be set up for the picking hand position. I wanted to separate the picking hand position from holding the guitar because there's some important details that we need to go over. The picking hand is the driver of our technique. We tend to get fascinated by what the left hand is doing, or the fretting hand. But really, the challenge is in the picking hand when it comes to this style. Any classical guitarist will tell you that this is the hand that makes all the difference. Okay, so the first thing we need to learn about proper alignment. And providing that you're holding the guitar properly, you've got a good neck angle here, your strings are facing your audience, I want you to imagine splitting your guitar in half from edge all the way down to the other edge at a diagonal. And you would have about a 45-degree angle splitting the sound hole from one end to the other end of the guitar. And that's the alignment of your picking hand. You're going to position the forearm, not the bicep, but you're going to position the forearm over the edge or the lip of the guitar. And from this point all the way down to the center of the hand is going to split the guitar at about a 45-degree angle in such a way that half your hand is over the sound hole and half of it is over the wood. Basically, the center of your hand is over this decoration here called the rosette. Next, with your hand over the rosette, I want you to make a fist. And then relax the hand. This is your natural position, so just practice making a fist and relaxing the hand into position. And you're doing so in such a way that your hand is hovering over the strings by about a ½ inch. You also want to work on keeping your wrist straight. You don't want your wrist up against the body, and you don't want your wrist folded in like this. You also don't want to tilt your wrist down or up. And the reason I say this is because a straight wrist is going to provide for a strong hand. You can try making a fist with a straight wrist, and you'll see that's a pretty strong alignment. Anytime you bend the wrist and try to make a fist, you'll quickly realize that that is a weak alignment. It's hard to move the fingers in that position. So we want to take every advantage of what nature has given us and keep that wrist nice and straight, half the hand over the sound hole, half over the wood, the 45-degree angle from here to here, make a fist, relax, and that's going to be your natural alignment. And here's the alignment from the side. We make a fist and relax, and I'm just hovering over the strings like this. We don't have a bent wrist this way. We're not touching the body of the guitar. We're just going to let the hand hang, make a fist, and relax. Excellent. Next, we're going to position our thumb, index, middle, and ring fingers on the strings. And so preserving that natural position, I want you to lightly place your thumb on the big E string like I'm doing here. I'm not putting too much weight. If you see the string pushing down this way, you're adding too much weight to the string. It should just lightly touch. And then I want you to put your index finger on the third string G, middle on the second string B, and the ring finger on the little first E string. And that's about what it looks like. For the most part, I'm preserving that relaxed position. Here's my relaxed position. Here's the slight adjustment that I'm making for the strings. If you find yourself doing weird things like this, then you're out of alignment. So go back to relaxing the hand into position and then lightly placing the fingers over the 6E string, the 3G string, the second B string, and the first E string. And here's how it looks from the side. You relax the hand into position, and you put the thumb on the big E string, index on string G, middle on string B, and the ring finger on the little E string. You don't want to put too much weight on the thumb, just the weight of the thumb itself. Now you notice I've got fingernails, and for those of you who don't have fingernails, you can just put the tip of the thumb or the corner tip. You can see the pressure point right there. I don't know if you can see the line, but that's about where I'm pushing, right on the corner tip of the thumb, just like that. But for those of you who do grow nails, in the next level I'm going to show you how to file nails, but I'm using the corner of this fingernail. My nails are kind of long, but you can use that edge of the nail, just rest it over the top where half the flesh is on the string and half of it is on the nail. More into that in future levels. But this is the general position here. We don't want the thumb bent back like this, unless that's just your natural position. Some people have thumbs that are already locked into this position. But for those of you who can straighten the thumb out, that's what I want, is a nice straight thumb. And then with the fingers, for those of you who do have nails, I'm putting half the flesh on the string and half the nail on the string. And so when I push in, you can see the indent is about right there. And so I'm making contact on the corner of the nail and part of the flesh. For those of you who only play on the flesh, just try to put the tip of the finger onto the string, not underneath it, but on top of the string so that you can get downforce into the string when you do play. It's important to keep this joint here slightly underneath the string that it plays. That's going to allow you for freer movement. You won't have a contact with this next string. If that joint is behind the string, you're going to end up running into the next string. That's called a rest stroke. But if that joint is underneath the string, then you can play the note without interfering with the other string. So once again, you make a fist, you relax the hand, you're keeping your wrist nice and straight, and you position your thumb on the E string, index on G, middle on B, ring on E. You've got the tips of the fingers on top of the string, not underneath the string. Thumb is straight. These joints here are slightly underneath the string that they play. And you can see how the hand is floating about an inch or so because of the fingers. You don't want this, but you don't want this either. If you just make a nice, relaxed hand, you should have a nice round shape in the hand right there. And that is your classical guitar picking hand position. And finally, we need to address the pinky. And I see lots of great players flaring their pinky out like this. Now my guess is that that is their natural tendency there. That doesn't require any energy from them. It's unique to them. But for most of us, I want you early on to keep that pinky relaxed and tucked in if you can. If you just relax the hand, that's how you should hold it when not in use. 99.9% of the time, you're not going to need the pinky. I don't know a single song that is performed using the pinky. However, I am aware that some flamenco styles and some classical styles will require the use of the pinky. So since it's not in use, try not to drain horsepower from your hand by flaring it out like that. That causes these muscles here to fire up and it creates unwanted tension. So for maximum speed and efficiency, we'll just learn to relax that along with the rest of the fingers. Oh, and one other thing, we are classical guitarists. We're not folk players, we are not banjo players, so try to avoid the temptation of resting the pinky up against the body of the guitar. Great players do this once again, but it's not part of our style. That's going to hold us back in the future.